Yo, what's going on YouTube? Kai here, checking in with another video. And as you guys see on the screen, we about to watch some scary stories, yo. We about to watch some scary stories. Not even just scary stories, it's like scary videos by your boy, Mr. Nightmare. Shout out to the GOAT. 6 million up on them boys, man. 6 million up. Y'all know it is October. It's Halloween time. I be watching these all year round though. Like, if y'all want to see, like, bruh, scroll down. Look at them videos, bro. I be watching these things all year round, bro. I be watching these things all year round. I be actually going to sleep to them. But y'all see from this last month, I haven't watched anything. So I guess we'll watch this video right here. Summertime.
Here's how your music sounds in your room.
You always be muting these ads, y'all, so I can skip.
I'm 18 years old, going to be a freshman in college this September. This past July, my friend Miranda held a pool party in her backyard as a sort of graduation party, minus any of her family being around because her parents were away. She often has the house to herself, so her parents' house is the go-to spot for a lot of hangouts. She invited like 100 people from our grade.
That remind me how my house was. My house was the hangout spot. But I ain't throw no parties though. I was just, if you my friends, you can come over. Just my friends.
There had to be upwards of 150 people there the night.
150 people.
I was one of the first to show up with my friend Jonah because we're close with Miranda, so we wanted to help out a little bit. By the time people started showing up, everyone congregated slowly from the kitchen and living room to outside in the backyard by the pool. Some people brought their bathing suits and jumped into the pool. Others just jumped in their underwear. And then, of course, most others...
I know they white. I know they white. I'm sorry. I can just tell. I can tell when a person is Caucasian. We gonna bring bathing suits, or we just gonna jump in with our underwear.
Others just stood around the pool. She has a huge backyard. At a certain point, so many people were at the party that it was clear as day people were bringing...
Oh, so this is one of them. What's the movie called? What's the movie called, yo? Y'all, what's that movie called, y'all? This one of them. I was gonna say Hangover. Yeah, it could be like one of them hangover parties. Like, bro, this one of them lit junks. Like, y'all just having it up. Like, y'all just doing any and everything. Like, I ain't never see my school. I went to a black school, like an all black school, and the percentile of white individuals was like 0.1. It might have been 3 white people in there, all girls. It might have been 3 white girls in there. And then when I transferred and I went to my other school, I went to like, it might have been 50-50. Yeah, white people, yeah, black people. Oh, it was Spanish people at the first school I was talking about. It was Spanish people there. It was like black and Spanish. And Asian. A little bit of Asian, a little bit. But the other school I'm talking about, this is one of these where, yeah.
friends from other schools because we did...
What I mean by these, I'm talking about rich kids with big ass houses, big ass backyards, woo woo. You feel me?
know everyone there, and Miranda was getting mad because she made it clear she didn't want randoms. In fact, unfamiliar...
I wouldn't either. Hey, if I invite y'all to my house, bro, don't bring nobody else to my house, bro. Don't. I used to hate that, bro. Like, if my friends bring, like, these my friends, like my guys, and they bring somebody else, I'm like, bro, who the fuck is this? I used to tell them, like, bro, don't bring nobody to my house, bro. Like, who the fuck is this? Why do you bring? That's your friend. Like, don't bring them to my house. You can come to my house. Like, you only have. I only have to be home and you can come to my house. You got the open door. Like, But other than that, bro, don't invite no random motherfuckers in my house, bro.
People seemed to be just barging through the gate, not even accompanied with people from our school or grade.
Oh,
There
so
wasn't
people
much
just
we could
walking
do
in
about
that
it.
junk.
The party was already too crazy to easily control. Miranda did throw in our class group chat not to bring any more randoms or they'd be asked to leave. The problem seemed to slow down after that. At around 1 a.m., police came to the house and had to shut down the party due to multiple complaints from neighbors. So the music was turned off, and 99% of the guests were asked to leave.
Dang.
Mostly everyone cleared out except a few close friends, including some of Miranda's girlfriends, Jonah and I, and a few other guy friends. We helped do some cleaning, like picking up all the empty cans and bottles. Eventually, it was just 4 of us left there. I'm talking at like 3 a.m., if not later. Since it was hot outside, we migrated to the inside of the house in the air conditioning, where we were just chilling in the living room continuing to drink. Then we all heard a distinct crack from upstairs. We went silent. Miranda was the first to
A crack from upstairs. Oh no.
ask what was that, as we all
Get the gun. That's what. Get the gun. Unless the gun is upstairs, then y'all get the knives. Fuck that. If it's 4 of us, everybody get a knife.
looked at each other with these wide-eyed, half-laughing, half-freaked-out faces.
Man, get the knife. If the gun upstairs, get the knife.
Jonah and I laughed,
Home Alone voice. This is my house, and I gotta protect it, head ass.
teasing Miranda that someone was upstairs in her room, and she begged us to stop and check it out. So we did. We went upstairs to Miranda's room. It was clear. We then went to the guest room that used to be her older brother's room, and we found one of our friends, Steve, passed out in the bed. We went downstairs to tell her that Steve was upstairs and knocked out.
Steve.
Yes, that gave her a sigh of relief. Looking back, that
If Steve is asleep, why did y'all hear a crack?
didn't much explain a sound coming from upstairs if he was knocked out in bed.
Exactly.
But we weren't exactly the most coherent at that moment. Eventually, Miranda and her friend Mel went to sleep in her room. Jonah fell asleep on the couch. I went to her parents' bed. None of us were okay to drive.
Hold up. 2 people went in her room, 1 person on the couch, and another girl was good enough to go into the parents' bed? Oh, y'all saying it was their daughter that went in the parents' bed? Man, if you don't get your ass out my bed, bro, all y'all need to be sleeping in the living room or sleeping in your room.
Drive anywhere. I can't remember how much time passed before I remember one of the girls screaming in the next room over, and then both of them. It was a heart-dropping kind of moment, but I didn't know if they were messing around with each other at first or not.
Isn't Steve still up there?
But I realized pretty quickly the screams were way too real. I burst out of the bed and went to Miranda's room and opened the door. The lights were out. I could barely see anything, except for the 2 girls huddled up hugging each other in the corner of the room, basically curled up on the floor. I saw what they were screaming at. There was a tall person in the opposite corner of the room, on the other side of the bed from them. I saw him looking at me in the doorway. I yelled at the girls to run, and they did. There was so much yelling that even Steve woke up and came out. As the girls ran downstairs, screaming that the man was touching their feet, we followed.
Whoa!
Looking back, with 3 guys there, we regrettably didn't try to overpower that one man.
Whoa! Touching your feet? Nigga trying to tickle your feet? Bruh. Oh, weird. People are weird, bro. What the world?
We all left the house, and one of us called the police, waiting by the neighbor's house with the neighbors, possibly the same ones who called the cops on the party. We didn't see the man leave the front door ever, and after police searched the house and couldn't find him, that meant he left through the back door. None of us recognized who that man was. It was probably an older man who knew Miranda somehow that snuck into the house during the commotion of...
That knew Miranda? What older man gonna know I don't know how old they are. Let's say 18. What older man you know gonna know an 18-year-old? He came in that thing because it was a party. And he like, man, I'm in this thing. I'm trying to live my high school years all over again. But he was on some creep stuff. A man went upstairs and hid in a room. Niggas is creeps.
Party, and thought Miranda would be alone after the party. It's some sick, scary stuff.
Yeah, he was on
If
some
we could
creep
have
shit.
overpowered him or not, we'll never know, because we don't know if he was armed.
He was on some creep stuff. That's what it was. People be sick.
Hey guys, welcome to Forward. We're a new type of doctor's office. That's
Skip.
There's a nice, quiet, scenic creek not far from my house. I like to drive my kayak up to it every once in a while on the weekends in the summer. This one particular weekend was one of those weekends. The weather was perfect, sunny and 70s. I'd kayaked down this creek a bunch of times, and never had I seen anyone else kayaking it. That's part of the reason I like it, because I'm a very reserved person and I like to do things myself, preferably with privacy. So I set out on the kayak.
Isn't kayaking something you do with two people? I know it's harder to do it with one person because you're going against the water. I've never been kayaking, so I don't even be on water. I'm sorry, I don't be on water. I need land. Like this right here. If you see this right here, this picture, the land is all the way over there. Anything happens, I'm stuck in the middle of no.
Not far from where I parked my car, which is some gravelly dirt parking area.
But the best thing about that is you got a life jacket on. You should.
There was one other car that pulled in a few minutes after I did, which was unusual. I'd never seen any other cars except my own here. 20 minutes into my kayak,
somebody else found out about that spot.
Someone came out from the woods ahead of me coming up on the left and approached the edge of the water. He stopped and waved at me and smiled. He put his hands on his hips and greeted me. It seemed he had an expectation for me to stop and chat. I instantly knew I didn't like his smile, but my mother raised me to be polite to everybody, so I stopped paddling and smiled and greeted him back. There was an awkward pause where he was just nodding his head with his closed lips smile, and I had to break the silence by saying it's a beautiful day out. He nodded his head and said yup, then asked where I'm from. I made something up and said, from up north, just visiting. He clearly lacked the ability to hold any sort of conversation, and that's coming from me, who's not the most social person myself, so I wanted to just move along. I told him to have a great rest of his day, and continued onward down the river. Never in a million years was I expecting what happened next to happen. I turned when I heard a snap of a stick or something from not far behind me. There in the not so far distance was the guy, hiding behind a couple trees, seemingly following me. I was disturbed and uncomfortable, like he would...
Get the gun, man. What the world? Well, he just said that nobody normally be there. But you gotta have like a pocket knife. You gotta have something. Like if I'm gonna be doing this, you never know what you're gonna run into. You gotta have something that's gonna protect you at all costs.
Was clearly trying to not be seen. I was scared to call him out in fear of how he might respond, so I pretended not to notice him and continued to kayak down the creek. I would continue to side glance every so often to see if he was still following me, and he was. I had never wanted to see someone else in the water so much in my life. I took out my phone to try to call my dad or my brother for help, but of course I had no cell reception out there. Still, instead of being followed and probably attacked, I decided to stop in my place, turn around, and threaten to call the police if he didn't stop following me. The man just stood in place behind another big tree, though he was clear as day there. I then decided to fake call the cops. I raised my phone in the air at the man. I said, "I see you there, I'm calling them now." I then proceeded to fake a phone call, pretending like I'm talking to the police. The man started to walk away deeper into the woods. It seemed to have worked. I turned around immediately and started kayaking back up the way I came as fast as I possibly could. I would constantly look over my shoulders until I got back to where I launched the kayak. I made it safely. I checked my whole surroundings before stepping out of the water and carrying my kayak back to my car. The other car in the little parking area was still there, but I made a disturbing discovery that may have saved my life. Up until this point, everything that happened could have maybe been explained away. However, I noticed broken glass near the back of my car, and the back passenger side window wasn't there anymore. It had been shattered. I didn't step 1 foot closer to my car. I stayed hidden in the woods and checked if I had bars now that I was closer to the road. I did, and I called 911 successfully. I reported the whole incident and the broken window, and I stated I was scared I was still being followed. Waiting for the police to arrive felt like the longest, most tense moment of my life.
Especially by yourself.
Dragged on
That's
far
why I
too
say.
long.
That's why I say I
When
don't
they
do
pulled
it.
into the dirt area,
This is exactly why I say don't do that by yourself. It's cool to want to do things by yourself, but sometimes it can turn a certain way. Yeah, nah. Nope.
Finally came out from the woods and waved at them. I pointed to the car, and 2 police officers came out and approached the car where they found him, the man from the woods, waiting in the back seat of my car, hiding.
What? Oh no. You ain't gonna do me like that. You're not gonna do me like that, bro. You gonna try to finesse me. Man, what? You gonna break the window, then be just posted up in the back jump, the back seat, just trying to hide? Man, niggas is crazy.
Waiting for me to enter my car to grab me. It was beyond satisfying to see him arrested. He definitely wasn't smiling anymore. I looked at him, as it almost seemed like he was avoiding looking at me as he was taken to the police car. I'm happy the man was so stupid that he thought I wouldn't notice shattered glass all over the side of my car.
Weird, man.
So Black Lives Matter released their 990 IRS filings. They collected...
What you're about to hear is something that will sound like it was straight from a horror movie, but it's absolutely true.
That's a beautiful scene
Every
right
summer,
there.
my friends and I go on a camping trip to a new location.
Look like they up in the mountains, above the clouds. That's a beautiful scene right there. I would never do this though.
It's a tradition we've had for years. One year we chose a hiking trail in West Glacier, Montana. My friend Luke is a photographer, so he always likes to bring his camera equipment and get lots of
this
nature
scene right here is
shots.
beautiful, bro.
First day there, the 3 of us did a lot of hiking and exploring, taking in the sights and allowing Luke to get a lot of shots.
They
That
got a
first night
house all
there,
the way up
nothing was
there?
out of the ordinary. We had 2 tents. I was alone in mine while the other 2 shared theirs. The next day, we did some fishing at a nearby river, and a few other things that aren't really that interesting to talk about. But that second night was where things got weird. The fire had just been put out, and we went to our respective tents. None of us had even fallen asleep yet when we started hearing sounds from out in the woods. It was very clearly a person's voice. It sounded like an older woman's voice. It kept getting louder and more clear every 10 seconds or so. I called over to my friend's tent right next to mine, asking if they heard that, and they called back saying yes. Someone was out there. The voice got so close and so clear that we could hear her saying hello. I was shaking in my socks.
What?
Maybe you might think,
Bro, get the gun. Like, dude, what are we doing here? Do you guys have any type of weapons, or y'all just came unarmed? Or like, y'all going camping? A box cutter, get a box cutter, get... I'm sure y'all got cans, like use the can opener, like the open can, cut a person with that, like the sharp part of the can, like, bruh, you gotta get something.
I think we're bad people for not jumping to help an older woman who may have been stranded in the woods. But that just didn't seem right, and being in the middle of the woods at night, hearing someone calling out hello is beyond terrifying. I heard footsteps approach the tent, then stop. The voice once again said
crazy.
hello, but it was right outside the tent this time. And now that it was this close, it didn't sound like a woman anymore. It sounded like a man trying to sound like a woman, raising the pitch in his voice.
Oh no.
The person outside my tent suddenly started shaking the tent aggressively, and I freaked out and screamed, "What do you want?" My friend shouted to go away to the person. The shaking then stopped as suddenly as it started, and I heard the footsteps quickly hurry away. I waited a few moments before unzipping my tent and grabbing my sleeping bag to go to my friend's tent. Even those brief 5 seconds outside the tent, I felt like I was going to be grabbed at any moment. I felt safer as I was in the tent with them and not alone anymore. None of us knew what to think, but we all 3 agreed it didn't sound like an actual woman. It sounded like some creepy man pretending to be one to get us to let our guards down. The question was, why though? Was he carrying a weapon? Either way, we didn't think it was safe to get up and leave now. We agreed to leave first thing in the morning as soon as the sun would begin to rise.
If it's somebody outside the tent, I'm not staying there. Like, you gotta use common sense. Sometimes you gotta use, like, what they call it, fight or flight. Bro, I'm getting out of here. If it's somebody trying to trick y'all, I'm not staying here while it's somebody even in the proximity of the area of could do anything. Like, man, I'm gone, bruh. I'd have said, folks, I'm gone. What y'all doing? Y'all saying? We already know somebody out here. Why would we stay? Let's get out of here.
Rise. We also agreed that someone would need to stay awake at all times to keep watch. So
No,
agreed
we
take
need to
turns
leave.
sleeping. My friend Matt took the first shift, while Luke and I tried to sleep, which was hard to do after what just happened, especially when we'd keep thinking we were hearing footsteps surrounding the tent. Eventually, though, after many tense hours, I managed to fall asleep out of pure exhaustion. I never woke up until morning time, because apparently Luke fell asleep on his shift, and we were all asleep by that point.
See what I'm saying?
We were happy the sun was up, so we packed our stuff and headed back to the truck. It was a long ride home, and during the drive, Luke was going through his camera looking at the shots that he got over the course of the 2 days there. The last 3 pictures, however, were not pictures that he took. There were 2 pictures taken of our campsite while it was still dark out. The 3rd picture was taken inside of our tent, with all 3 of us asleep. Nothing was
Bullshit.
missing or stolen, strangely enough, and none of us were attacked in any way. Yet it remains the most fucked up thing that has ever happened to any of us. Some random creep out in the woods stalking our tent and waiting for the right moment to enter our campsite, go through our stuff, sneak into our tent, and take a picture of all 3 of us, probably just to freak us out. And whoever it was, they accomplished their goal for sure.
Bullshitting. Yeah, that's crazy. Would y'all do this? If I'm going to set up a tent, I'm doing it in the backyard. I'm doing that in the backyard, bro. To be honest with y'all, if I'm doing anything, bro, I'm doing it in the backyard of my house. That's it. Like, I ain't trying to. No, I can't do that. I'm not trying to be in the wilderness where I don't know the way around. I don't know the setup. Like, nah, bro. Nah. Nope. But that's it with this video, bro. This video is crazy. Let me know what y'all think. Would y'all do that? I know I wouldn't. Would y'all do any of these videos? Would y'all do the party at the beginning? Would y'all do the tent or the kayaking? I'm sure y'all would do kayaking, but not by yourself. Please don't go by yourself. But I want to get out of here. See y'all in the next one. Peace.